It is really important that we talk together because we've got some very strange policies being developed coming out of Europe, particularly regulations, increased taxation, and we need to be able to unite to tell a single story. I was listening to Willie yesterday, and he was saying that the revenue is going to be 1 trillion, and in the sector as a whole, if you include hotels and cruise lines and the Googles, the whole piece is going to be worth 11 trillion. So we are an enormous economic powerhouse. And if we stick together and tell a united story, I think we can ensure that policymakers listen to us better. I think we need to work on it, actually. I think a lot of us have stayed in our own bubbles. It's not to cast aspersions at any particular direction. As you know, I've come from an aviation background, and I do understand it. If you look at the wafer-thin margins in aviation that we were talking about in the opening sessions, it's a very, very different economic model from a hotel model, a cruise model, an OTA, a tour operator. But at the end of the day, the value continuum, if you like, the value chain is completely connected. So we need to work together. I was really delighted to see Paul Griffiths, the head of Dubai Airport here, because he made another really critical point. The way technology is going, it's going to sweep those verticals away. It's swept them away in other industries, and it's coming for us. And we have got to be ahead of that curve. To be ahead of that curve, we really need to be talking to each other and arguing each other's case. When I get out there, I argue about SAF. I argue against taxation. I argue with governments that continue to actually see us as an enemy instead of a force for good. And we all need to be doing that on the same platform. I think it's really important that both our sectors work together because at the end of the day, we are a very, very resilient industry. We're also an industry that brings communities together globally. And when you're having difficult times, which we are seeing globally, the power of travel and tourism in terms of its soft diplomacy is absolutely critical, but also in terms of rebuilding communities. I've just come back from the Ukraine. They had a tourism conference. I mean, who would think you'd have a tourism conference? But the reason they're having it is they know that it's going to be critical to them rebuilding as a country post the terrible war that they're suffering at the moment. So we're a very, very strong bunch. We're very, very resilient. And I think we need to stick together to tell a united story.